Welcome back. From Age Well Adult Day Service today, we have Lauren Anderson, who you know, she's a social worker there. And Lauren, why don't you introduce Ellie to us?
This is Elizabeth Ellie Murley, and she is an intern from Benedictine University in Chicago. I am fortunate to have her for 240 hours. That's a huge amount for an intern. Usually it's 100 hours.
Yeah.
So we're together almost all day, every day. So she's really gotten a quick feel for what we do at the center and gotten to know people.
Very good. And Ellie, we were talking, you're originally from South Carolina and grew up there.
Yes, Charleston, South Carolina, and Columbia, South Carolina.
And you've been here just about 3 years.
About 3 years now. Yeah.
Very different, isn't it? Although the humidity this last week tried to remind you of
it. Definitely did. And kind of all this summer, there was a lot of humidity
that
we don't normally have here. But
exactly.
It was interesting.
So your master's program is in public health.
Yes, sir.
And this is sort of the final stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of when you go through the intern program. And from there, what part of the public health sector do you wish to go into?
I would honestly love to continue working with the population that we're working with now, with seniors. I've really enjoyed my internship thus far, and looking forward to continuing and learning more about people and studying more about how to make them happy and healthy and comfortable.
Now, public health, when you hear that, that encompasses a lot.
Quite a bit. It's a large umbrella.
It does. So tell us more about your studies in that. Is it more about the business end of public health, or how you communicate with people, and compared to being a registered nurse or a social worker? What does that encompass exactly?
So for me, it's been more of a focus in public health management,
Okay.
as well as disaster management and epidemiology,
Okay.
which are the areas that I chose to focus in. But there are quite a few other areas that others could focus on. Just those were the ones that I kind of gravitated towards, really enjoyed the classes, the studies, and
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So besides, if you choose to stay in this area, besides that, would be the catalyst if you ever wanted to get with the CDC or something like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. And
which would be an extraordinary goal to have
Yeah.
down the road, because I'm certain there aren't a huge number of opportunities. Yeah.
Very good. So at Age Well, over there at Adult Day, are you just at Adult Day, or are you working with Age Well in their other locations as well?
Just at Adult Day primarily, but we do some other meetings and conferencing and resource fairs at other facilities as well.
So what do you do over there, as far as do you work with the people that come over there and use the facility? Do you just do a little bit of everything, learning kind of how a localized center works?
Doing a little bit of everything, mostly shadowing Lauren and learning from her expertise, and as well the other social worker, and then also the rest of the team, because it's a small team, so everyone works together to make the day happen the way it needs to. So around lunchtime, it's kind of all hands on deck to make sure that everyone gets fed in a timely manner, and all of the health restrictions or dietary restrictions are being met for everyone.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do a lot of evaluation and case management to make sure that all of the participants their needs are being met, and working out care plans for them to ensure that they're being taken care of well.
So Lauren, do you sort of oversee the internship program there, or you work with Kathy doing that as well?
It depends on where the interns are coming from and where their interest lies. Somebody that would want something more administrative would go to Kathy, but people more in the social work realm, or we've had a couple public health people now. I even had some criminology law students that were coming, which didn't really pertain, but they really appreciated getting to know the services that seniors may need or what's available.
Interesting.
So Ellie just does a little bit of everything. She's she's learned how to interview people. She makes people comfortable. We've gone to home visits, and we just, we're a team right now. So she's does a little bit of everything that I do, and under supervision, because that's what we have to do it that way. But she's gotten to know the participants and the rest of the team members, and it's really good that we've got her. She's got a good sense of humor, and she's quick to understand people and concepts, so it's working out really well.
So where do you study out of?
So I'm actually in an online program.
Okay.
So the university is based out of Chicago.
Okay.
But being in an online program kind of allows me to study and do school around my schedule, work schedule, things like that, rather than the other way around. I don't spend a lot of time commuting to and from school, so that's extra
nice.
time that I can read and study and work and focus on the other things that I need to take care of in life.
How many more, it's 240 hours, right? So how much longer, how many have you completed so
I've
far?
done about 50
Okay,
right
so you
now.
still have a ways to go.
Yeah, I'm about a quarter of the way, or a fifth of the way
So another
there.
couple months, something like that?
Absolutely.
And then from there, do you take a final exam? And how do you get your final master's?
So for the internship, I do have to
get
turn
signed off and
in
all.
papers. I have to turn in log sheets and hours. Lauren will have to complete an evaluation of me to make
That'll
sure.
be difficult.
So, and then also a PowerPoint presentation to kind of highlight some of the activities that I've been doing,
Very good.
which will then be used for other students in the future to kind of be able to model their
Okay.
experiences after.
So this is what your master's in. What was your major in public health as well?
My undergrad was
Yeah.
actually in elementary education.
Oh, really? Okay.
With a double minor in elementary education with a double minor in early childhood education as well as women's studies.
Okay, so that kind of dovetails into public health for
Absolutely,
sure. In many ways,
absolutely.
yeah. Very interesting. What are some of the things that you have come across that have sort of learned over the last few weeks that might have surprised you? Or this isn't what I read about, this is reality here. Are there a couple things that kind of stood out?
I wouldn't say anything particularly stood out as unexpected. I would say more that I'm just learning so much from not only my experience with Lauren, but just from the participants and from the people that I'm working with, which I feel feeds very much into my interest in epidemiology.
Well, they have a great program over there, and just wonderful
Absolutely.
people that
Absolutely.
both work there and volunteer there as well. And you've got a lot of great people over there. You always
Fortunate.
have, and you're fortunate that you get interns like Ellie, right?
Really, it's very nice, and it's always a learning experience for me to watch people get comfortable with how we do things is great. And Ellie's been leading our women's reminiscence group, so that kind of goes in with your women's studies, and
Absolutely.
because the people come from all different angles of life. I mean,
Yeah.
people just always want to put 80-year-olds in the same category as every 80-year-old is just like every other 80-year-old, and it's just the opposite is true.
Right.
You really can't put the population of older adults just in a little box that there's just one kind of person or one outlook, because there's probably more differences than similarities compared to other age groups.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, this is, as I said, it's a great program, and you've got probably, like I said, another couple months, I would
Yeah,
say.
absolutely.
Maybe you'll come back, when you're all done, and tell us what the next road brings to you. Maybe it'll bring you here. We'll see.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Hey, nice to
I
meet
appreciate
you.
the time.
And as I said, maybe one day I'll get down to South Carolina. That would be fun.
Absolutely.
I've always wanted to go there.
Absolutely.
Lauren, we'll see you again, I'm
You
sure.
will.
Say hi to
Yeah,
Kathy for
I
us.
will.
And any events coming up? Are you working with Florence Sylvester for the senior prom? Did you
know
guys
what?
work with that?
Well, it's just
It's
all
all
age
kind of-
well
yeah.
employees are encouraged to enjoy the evening, either
Yeah.
volunteering or
Okay.
going. So, you know,
So
that's,
you want to mention that again?
Yes, and we've had some of our participants have actually gone to that. And the nice thing is seeing, you know, the king and queen being crowned. So that's always very
Yeah, and I know
very
this year they're
nice.
focusing on veterans.
Veterans, and
Yeah.
it's October 18th, I believe, so it's
Yeah.
a little bit earlier than usual. So that's really nice to be able to, you know, respect and honor our veterans. We do that at the center too with the
Yeah.
Veterans Wall. So
That's gonna
we're
be a
happy
lot
to
of
do
fun.
that. Yes.
All right, great. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Lauren,
meeting
good
you
to
as
see
well.
you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
And, you know, age well over there at Adult Day. As I know Lauren has mentioned this, Kathy has mentioned this in the past, if you want to look into possibly volunteering over there, they're always willing to take people to come in, and maybe it's just for a couple hours a week. They really do appreciate that. So go ahead and give them a call. Right over here, 855-9444. And thank you again for both
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.